This video was created by AI.
My name is Scott Layton. I'm a middle-aged white guy from Pittsburgh, and I don't see much honor in our public discourse, not in our social media, and not in many of our elected leaders. Honor was once the armor of saints and knights. Chivalry, rightly lived, was not conquest. It was conscience clad in steel. My family motto is dread shame. It's etched into this very channel. Maybe that's why this phrase from the Japanese Bushido, Haji Oshii Rei, or know what shame is, resonates with me so deeply. But this is not a documentary about Bushido. It's a meditation on a forgotten virtue, one that may yet save us. Few cultures have revered honor quite like the Japanese. But what is honor? What are its virtues and its vices? And why is it something we urgently need to bring back to American life? Honor is the internal compass that guides our actions, even when no one's watching. It's how we treat others when power is on our side. Not pride, not fame, but principle. Honor isn't about pride. It's not vanity or reputation. It's about something quieter, deeper, a moral compass. Across cultures, honor has taken many forms, from tribal codes to knightly chivalry to religious devotion. In ancient Rome, honor was earned through service, duty, and courage. To lose one's honor was worse than death. In Japan, the samurai followed Bushido, the way of the warrior, which prized discipline, loyalty, and humility above all. Honor in Japan is not just tradition, it's woven into daily life, in how people bow, in how they apologize, in how they leave their shoes at the door. No culture owns honor, but every culture teaches it differently. From the Confucian reverence for family and elders, to the moral codes of indigenous nations, where land, tribe, and truth were sacred. Honor has always been a thread in the human story. In Japan, it's formality and duty. In Rome, it was civic virtue. In America, maybe it's still waiting to be fully defined. But honor, when taken to extremes, can become a prison. A code so strict that to live outside, it felt like not living at all. In World War II, many Japanese soldiers refused to surrender, choosing death over disgrace. And yet, in the decades since, Japan has reclaimed honor not as death, but as dignity, found in peace, in humility, and in daily acts of courtesy and care. Some believe Japan would fight to the last citizen. That fear, right or wrong, shaped the logic behind the bomb. And so we must ask, can honor unbalanced become a pathway to tragedy? Here in America, we talk a lot about freedom, about rights, less so about responsibility or honor. We reward shamelessness. We confuse audacity with courage, and yet it wasn't always this way. Once, honor in American civic life meant stepping aside when the moment demanded it. George Washington refused a crown. Eisenhower warned of the military-industrial complex. Even senators, once upon a time, conceded defeat out of principle, not grievance. And we forget that true honor is often invisible, because it happens when no one's watching. Honor today is in the parent who admits they were wrong, in the neighbor who shows up when no one else will, in the leader who says, "I failed, and I will do better." Yet even now, in quiet corners of our society, honor endures. Unsung, but not extinct. In countless homes across America, Americans speak of the dishonor they see every day. But honor doesn't just whisper in private. Sometimes it must shout. In the street, in the courtroom, in the face of injustice. Because to remain silent in the presence of wrong is to be wrong. Honor isn't about never falling. It's about how you rise, with dignity, not denial. With humility, not bravado. To live the Renaissance spirit is to revive the best of the past, not to worship it, but to learn from it. We must teach honor again, not as blind obedience or old-fashioned pride, but as a living ethic. Tell the truth, even when it's inconvenient. Stand for those who can't stand for themselves. Own your mistakes. Keep your word. These are acts of honor, small acts that build civilizations. Thank you for watching. Our channel, known as the Renaissance Spirit, is dedicated to the pursuits of a just, equitable, and humanitarian world. Video topics encompass areas including history, politics, religion, personal development, society, culture, social and environmental justice, and other topics of liberal arts and sciences, including ancient Rome and the Roman Empire, which is a great comparison and contrast of the modern world. Topics perfect for the true modern polymath. Living the Renaissance spirit means engaging with history not as a distant past, but as a living dialogue, constantly informing and enriching our present. And the Renaissance spirit is a reminder of our dialogue with the future, our progeny and posterity, our legacy. Will we grant them a future free from fear of climate change and tales of the end of democracy? Will they admonish us for our sins and omissions, or will they remember us fondly as saviors of humanity and the natural world? The Renaissance spirit, more than just a philosophy or style, but a style for living, learning, growing, and thinking. But to speak of honor abstractly is not enough. In times like ours, it must become personal. There are moments when silence is not neutral. It is complicit. And there are leaders whose shamelessness stains not only their legacy, but the conscience of a nation. So let me speak plainly, not only as a host, but as a citizen, not just philosophically, but personally. I am one American citizen. I've voted against Donald Trump in every election. I've donated to those who opposed him. But that is not enough. Not anymore. This isn't about left or right. It's about the human cost of shamelessness. Honor, meiyo, demands more than private belief. It calls for public sorrow, for standing against dishonor, not just when it's easy, but when it's everywhere. According to The Guardian and Human Rights Watch, hundreds of thousands of lives were put at risk, or lost, when Trump cut USAID and global health funding in vulnerable regions. And that is just one example of his inhumanity and dishonor. He has dishonored our alliances, weakened our commitments, and turned the noble cause of liberty into a spectacle of self. He has never apologized, so I will. Not as his representative, but as someone who remembers the words, Haji Shire, no shame, to the people of Japan, to our friends and partners around the world, and to the generations who will ask, what did you do? I say this, we tried, we are trying, and the work of honor never ends. Because honor is not nostalgia, it is a promise. Meiyo to wa, kako no eiko ni agaru koto de wa nai, sore wa mirai e no chikai de aru. To live with honor is to die only once. To live without it is to die a little every day. Live with honor, or not at all. Let honor be your greatest legacy. Koki na hito wa toku o motomi, iashi hito wa rieki o motomeru.